In a darkened room where the shadows creep, there's a demon named Overfoolish who can't sleep. He's fighting hard with a heavy heart, streaming his troubles, tearing him apart. You weep when here to watch your pain so deep. Overfoolish, rise above the pain, streaming through the storm, dancing in the rain. Once lost in the night, but now he's shining bright and bright. With every laugh and smile, he's fighting the fright. Rise, Overfoolish, rise. You're a star in the sky. He faced his demons, they whispered low. Give up, give in, let your spirit go. But with every stream he learned to fight. His heart became a beacon, guiding him to light. Pushing, we believe. Overfoolish, you will achieve. Overfoolish, rise above the pain, streaming through the storm, dancing in the rain. Once lost in the night, but now he's shining bright and bright. With every laugh and smile, he's fighting the fright. Now he's number one, the crowd goes wild. From shadows to light, like a hopeful child. He conquered his fears with every laugh and cheer. Overfoolish, the hero, his path is so clear. Stand up tall, take that road. From the darkness you have grown. But still he remembers the night so long, fighting with demons where he felt so wrong. Yet love from his fans became his guide. In the heart of the struggle, he found his pride. In a dark room where the shadows creep, there's a demon named Overfoolish who can't sleep. He's fighting hard with a heavy heart, streaming his troubles, tearing him apart. Oh, Overfoolish, don't you weep. We're here to watch your pain so deep. Overfoolish, rise above the pain, streaming through the storm, dancing in the rain. Once lost in the night, but now he's shining bright. With every laugh and smile, he's fighting the fright. Rise, Overfoolish, rise. You're a star in the skies. He faced his demons, they whispered low. Give up, give in, to fight. His heart became a beacon, guiding him to light. Keep on pushing, we believe. Overfold as you will achieve. Overfold as rise above the pain. Streaming through the storm, dancing in the rain. Once lost in the night, but now he's shining bright. With every laugh and smile, he's fighting the fight. Now he's number one. The crowd goes wild. From shadows to light, like a hopeful child. He conquered his fears with every laugh and cheer. Overfold is the hero, his path is so clear. Stand up tall, take that throne. From the darkness you have grown. But still he remembers the nights so long, fighting with demons where he felt so wrong. Yet love from his fans became his guide. In the heart of the struggle, he found his pride. Fans are here, never apart. Overfolish, straight from the heart. Overfolish, rise above the pain. Streaming through the storm, dancing in the rain. Once lost in the night, but now he's shining bright. With every laugh and smile, he's fighting the fright.
Well, guys, welcome back to Overfoolish. How are you, beautiful people, gremlins and demons? We are here tonight to play another horror game as usual, the one that we played last time, the narrative all-text game. It gets so lonely here, so we're gonna play that today. Hopefully, I will read it well and not get too flabbergasted by it. I hope that 1 hour will be enough, but perhaps even 2. So, just give me the time to drink my green tea. I really need that to wake up. I woke up something like 30 minutes ago, so I'm a little zombie now. Also, I see that my mobile is a little bit on the side. Oh, wow, okay. There we are. And we have little Pookie. Pookie, what are you doing, Pookie? He's doing nothing, of course. He's just standing there. Okay, so without further ado, guys. Green tea for me, energies, and we start our beautiful game. We stop the music. Yeah, and we switch the scene. And hopefully the game will start without any problem. I mean, it's just a text game, so it's gonna be easy, you know. No problem, no problem. Just sit on your sofa, guys, and have fun, relax. It gets so lonely here. So very lonely. I love the atmosphere. Load. So let me check the volumes before I do anything. I think you need a little bit more volumes, like this. You let me know if the volumes are too high, okay? Okay. There is only one bed in this room, and this bed, it belongs to you. You think that the peace and the quiet will do you a world of good. You tell the princess as much as she smiles. That's good. I was worried you wouldn't like it. I know it isn't much of a look, but it's one of the nicest servant rooms we have in the castle. Most of the maids sleep beneath of the roof in this teeny tiny room, which is all cramped. There is 10 beds up there, and they're so close together. There is barely any room to pass between them. I thought it was perfectly ghastly when I saw it. The last time I went up here. Not that I was supposed to be up there. It was a rainy day, and I couldn't go outdoors, so I was doing a bit of exploring. If the housekeeper had not been skulking around, I don't think she would be best pleased. Well, in any case, nobody sleeps up there anymore. The scullery maids are all gone now. I could have put you up there, though, in the attic, with all those empty beds. I didn't think it'd be very cheery. You're not just a scullery maid, you're my lady's maid. That means you deserve good luggings. Luggings? I think it's luggings, okay? It'd be an insult to offer you any less than these. Now, it's getting late. You'll have to forgive me for rabbiting on. I've heard it's something I tend to do. It's a bad habit. One that's unbecoming for a lady. Hello, Evan. Welcome back. You're just in time. The housekeeper wandered enough time. You reassure the princess to the contrary, smiling as you do so. You do not mind if she talks too much. That is better than not talking at all. Her affable nature make it easier to spend time with her. Manners be damned. You were always scolded too, back in the conservatoire, for your behavior. You know full well and aggravated it can be to be upbraided, not for any particular misdemeanor. Oh my god, we're starting with the with the strange words. Misdemeanor, but for being yourself. Well, I'm glad you understand. The princess answered with a giggle. I really should be off. Okay, the princess answered with a giggle. Okay, I really should be off though. It's bad manners to keep you, especially when you look so sleepy. I bullied once on the bottom and I got the first star, a small blue girl. Yeah, I know that one. Get some rest. We can talk more tomorrow. If you don't mind my ceaseless paddle, I'm glad you seem to appreciate it at least. Though I'm sure you will get tired of it eventually. All of my old maids did. The princess departs, and in her absence you take a seat upon the bed, your new bed. You cannot help but think that this is all happened very quickly. It does not seem like very long ago that you were still in the forest, running for your life amongst the tall, imposing tree with their gnarled, grasping branches. The forest might as well be a distant memory now, though. You are indoors, inside a castle nonetheless, and you have been given a room in which to sleep and clothes that you might wear. It seems premature still to declare that you are out of the woods in a metaphorical sense, I mean, but things could certainly be worse. Yeah, today short hair because my hair covered the text, and I don't want that. You force yourself to stand on legs, which feels too weary to support you, and change into a nightclothes hanging in the wardrobe. The nightclothes do not fit you perfectly, but you are too tired to care about that. You are too tired to care about much of anything. You retreat to the bed and slide beneath its sheets. Then you let your eyelids fall shut. You exhale. And lulled by the breeze which blow outdoors, you fall asleep. Good night. You are so very tired. Your sleep is a deep, dark one, darker even, that the first abysses of the night time, like the night time however which shimmer with stars. Your sleep is not devoid of those prismatic fragments humans call dreams. Though in this case, I rather think your nocturnal imaginings are worth rather more than that. They are not dreams, are they? To which your slumbering mind is subjected? You know that they are not. Otherwise your body would not be so very cold, not so clammy. The image that flicker beneath your closed eyelids, like the ghostly image in the Oh my god. Phenakistocope. What is this game, bro? Phenakistocope. Okay. Try to tell Phenakistocope 10 times without flabbergasting your mind. We're not conjured from within your minds. They were instead taken from your memories. You are not merely dreaming, you are remembering. You are remember the girl who slept in your dormitory and how they always abstained to use the shower first, so you were last for breakfast. You remember how, when you finally did arrive at the dining hall, the most desirable morsels had already been snuffled upon the girls who got there earlier. You struggled too to find a seat. Once you finally did get your hands on some food, because nobody ever wanted you to sit with you. Nobody ever wanted to sit with you. Oh my god, my mouth. The other girls all acted like you were. I have to read slower, I think. Those other girls are all acted like you were a leper, save for when they wanted a favor. They never asked for this favor mine, for why would they? To them, your father's prestige did not matter. They were all wealthy ladies too, many of them wealthier than you. When everybody has the airs and grace of a princess, how is anybody supposed to stand out? You stood out the least in your class, perhaps because you were one of the smallest, the frailest, the sickliest, who always came down with colds in the winter. Your poor health did not stop the other girls from treating you as a servant, though. When they remembered that you existed, of course, it was your lot in life, as you dwelt within the stone wall of the conservatoire. Okay, walls of the conservatoire. To carry school bags across the field like a back mile. It is actually English mixed with French, and it's actually very complicated for me. Then come the evening. The girl in your dormitory had you sewing on missing buttons and ironing out the creases and the wrinkles in their uniform. If there was an odd job that needed performing, you would always be asked. But these girls did not ask you. That would have been too civilized. They ordered you instead, and as they ordered you, they laughed at you. They laughed and they laughed and they laughed. They laughed at art, but the art considerably less than the kicks did, and slaps and the pinches. Once during the embroidery lesson, one of your classmates had an accident with the sewing scissor. She stumbled, or at least she pretended to, and before you knew it, the silvery blades of those scissors were embedded in your left palm. This happened quite some time, when you were even leaner than you are now, but you can still remember it. It hurt a lot. The scissors were sharp, and they perforated your skin, not all the way down to the bone, but enough to bleed. Your wound bled bright red, like a strawberry jam, all over your embroidery. Then when your professor saw it, she shrieked. Her face turned as pale as way, and she looked at a few moments as though she might faint. Though you were the one who was in pain, your professor looked at your face. She could not bear to look at your hand. Then demanded to know why you could not be more careful. Her tone had been an accusatory one, almost as if you had stabbed yourself in the hand with your scissors to goad hair. The pain in your hand hurt, but the giggles of your persecutor hurt all the more. They never were punished for that. Perhaps your professor did not care enough to punish them. Perhaps she, like everybody else, though it was all your fault. The wound, when all was said and done, was not too deep. You did not even need any stitches. It healed well enough in time on its own, though it still left a scar. A white raised thing like a crescent moon. You still have the scar. You do not know how much blood you lost. It seems like a lot back in the classroom. You could smell in the air sharp as iron, but it could not have been that much evidently. If your wound has been more serious, perhaps your professor might have cared. Perhaps your classmate too would have felt more modicum of guilt over what they did. But this seems very unlikely. Sorry. I just need to focus. I just woke up like 30 minutes ago and I need to focus. Give me some time to warm up, guys. You know that your blood meant nothing to your classmate. Why should it? If you mean next to nothing, if you meant next to nothing, that the blood in your veins was, if such a thing's possible, even more inconsequential. You felt disorientated when you awake. At long last, with the rising of the sun, you do not remember what you dreamt. But, oh, it's dreamt. Okay, the past, okay. But you do not think that your dream were a particularly pleasant nature. If they were, your heart would not be hammering so. I'll at least your glance around. Oh, it is daytime. You are lying in a narrow bed in an unremarkable room, one with dull beige walls. Beige? Is this beige? I think this is beige. Beige wall and warped wooden floor. Where exactly are you? This does not look like your dormitory in the conservatoire, not unless it has shrunk threefold overnight. Your brow furrows as you attempt to recall the events in the night prior, until with a gasp it all clicks into place. You remember now. You were running through the woods, trying to escape. You shudder. You do not want to think of what it was you were trying to escape from. You presume that you must have given your heart the sleep, though, because you are still in one piece, awake and alert enough to face the dawning of a new morning. You still have all your limbs, and your facial feature appears to be in the correct configurations. That is more than enough to be getting along with. You look at the foot of your bed, then blink bemused at your discovery. You can see lying upon the sheets a garment, two garments actually, of black and white, folded into a neat with a square. What could that be? A maid's outfit? If so, it would not be too surprising. You can now recall your visit with the princess the night prior, and her assertion that you must be her lady maid. Well, if that is the role she wants you to assume, you have no qualms with it. It's fair and preferable to the other role you played last night, that of a startled query running from its pursuer. You press your fingers against the humble maid attire. It feels surprisingly soft to the touch, not coarse like you expected. These clothes are rather fine. Did the princess put them there? If so, there is all the more reason to wear them. You are not crushling enough to deny her hospitality. You rise from your new bed, then undress yourself, unbuttoning the front of your plain white nightgown and setting it aside. This task accomplished, you then clad yourself in your new attire, black and white, and eminently sensible. You feel very far away from the girl that you once were. Your face might be the same as always, but something with you seems to have changed. You are no longer a student, not as long as you meant to reside within the princess' castle. You would far rather to be her servant. Assured of your newfound identity, you retreat through your chamber, then make your own way to your mistress' bedroom. The castle is a large one with many rooms and many hallways to connect them, and for a brief while you find yourself horrendously lost. You cannot remember where the princess' bedroom is. You are beginning to feel rather disoriented when to your relief, your eyes snack upon a stairwell which looks rather familiar. Could this be the way? You ascend these steps, your footfalls cushioned by the plush carpet which lines them, then find your way down the very same hall you traversed the night prior. If your memory does not fail you, the princess' bedroom ought to be. Yes, it is here. You rap upon the door, but receive nothing in the way of a response. Is the princess still abed? You wonder briefly. Whatever you I don't know how to read it. Wait until she is risen of her own accord. But no, the sun is high in the sky, and it would be seen as shame to let the princess sleep through all the day. Is she a vampire? I don't know that. I don't know. You oath instead to ruse her. That seems like the sort of duty a lady maid should attend to. You enter the princess' bedroom and glance about. Her room looks much the same as you remember it from the night prior, though the ceilings seems even higher when viewing the one morning light. You can see now that there are fewer shadows to impair your view. How very opulent your young mistress' abode is. Her armoire is large and imposing, as is the grate in which you will be expected to keep a fire light during the nights. The princess herself, meanwhile, is curled on her side beneath the sheets, looking rather less grandiose than her title would suggest. She is attired in a nightgown, adorned with frills, and her hair split across her pillow like a spilled gold. In her slender arms, meanwhile, held to her chest is a doll, the very same one that she was cossetting last night. You suppose this doll must be her favorite. Idly, you wonder what the doll's name is, though you do not suppose it matters all that much. It is time to wake your mistress. You call out the princess, but she is largely unresponsive. Her eyelashes are still sewed tightly shut, and her lips pursue the slumber. You purse your lips too, and sighed. Well, nobody ever said that your job would be that easy. Would be easy. Once again, you call to the princess, and this time she replies. Her response is not a favorable one, however. She sighed to turn away from you, held all classes to her chest. Just give me a little longer. The princess sounds so enfeebled, but you do not take pity of her. I mean, she does have a light in the room, so she's not a vampire, I think. I know, I'm just supposing. Okay. If you have learned anything from the conservatoire, every time I read this one, I read like conversation. When I see con, I read conversation. Say for knowledge, perstraining to the respiratory tract of fish. It is that one must be cruel to kind. You do not think it is adage was practiced with any great success in the conservatoire. Again, my brain just go with that word. But perhaps it will have more of an impact upon the princess. You tell her, once again, to wake up. More strongly this time. You will not let her sleep, for she has slept long enough already. It is very slovenly, really, to still be abed at such an hour. Oh, defeated, the princess sighed. All right, I can see that I can twist you around my little finger. Oh, she's so cute. I'm up, I don't need nag me. Once you have roused the princess from her bed, and you have put her doll on the side, you set upon her toilette. Or is that toilet in English? Well, I mean, that mixed it with French, so I can read it twilight, right? You aid the princess in the brushing of her hair, a chore to which she submit willingly, like a cat might allow its fur to be brushed. You allow yourself to ponder as you run the bristles of the princess' brush through her hair, how wonderfully soft it feels against your skin. But a curious query from the princess. Are you right, dear one? brings you back to your senses. You were rather lost in thought there. Look lively now. You wouldn't want the princess to catch wind of your salacious thought, would you? I thought that you had learned your lesson about that already. Suitably chastened, you finish with the princess' hair, then set the brush aside. Now that the princess' tresses have been taken care of, you must start one of her attire. The princess remains seated upon the edge of their bed, looking up at your askance. She does not ask you to avert your eyes, and nor does she make any motion of divesting herself of her nightgown. It really doesn't seem as tough she expects you to undertake this task on your own. Is that right? As you ask the princess as much, you would not wish to impinge upon her modesty, but she only laughs. Yes, it's alright. It's what you're supposed to do if you are to be my lady's maid. I'm used to being dressed and undressed. I'm not a bit squeamish about it. She might not be squeamish about it, but you are. You have never seen a naked woman before excepting yourself. I mean, it's a woman. It's a woman. It's a woman. Oh, come on. Even then, however, you have always dressed and undressed furtively, not wanting to examine your body for longer than is strictly necessary. My God, are you shy? You have never much liked the way that you look. You make a few more mumbled objections, but the princess sweeps them to one side easily. It's alright, might be a princess, but we're both people underneath. All of our clothes, I doubt we look much different. I mean, you look kinda different, but on a certain way. And you're not sure about that. You have not yet seen the princess unadorned. Such a noble word, unadorned. You don't say naked, you say unadorned. But you already know, to look at her face, that you are different. She is much prettier than you are, but she is waiting, and you do not wish to keep her any longer. You steady your nerves. Then you reach out with trembling hands, and you begin to undo the buttons which run down the front of the princess' nightgown. You work as quickly as you are able, which, given how badly your hands are shaking, is not very. You fumble with a couple of the buttons, flinching as you do so. The princess, however, seems blissfully unaware of what it is exactly you are doing or not doing, for your fingers have become too sized up with the front of her nightgown. I don't even know what a nightgown is, but that's okay. She's not even looking at you. Instead, her gaze is directly behind your shoulder to the window sill, and the sky behind it. It isn't particularly sunny, but I don't think it is too cold outside. Going for a walk might not be a bad idea. You want to, what do you think, dear one? You think that you would like to finish undressing the princess as long as possible, so you can make some progress on dressing her again. The sight of all this exposed skin is bad for your heart. Oh, poor girl, she's so shy. Fortunately, you are able to make a quick work of the princess's nightgown, despite your initial mishap. Spurred on, perhaps, by your anxiety, you bid the princess to stand, which she does, and neatly she steps out of her nightgown, her motion once again as graceful as fluid as a dancer. This task completely, you search hurriedly, wordily, for the princess' red dress. Where is it? You cannot find it. Sweat begins to prickle on the back of your neck. Your palms, meanwhile, feel uncomfortably clammy. The moments pass awkwardly. Oh my god, it is so complicated for me. Okay, awkwardly, uneasily, as you reach the princess standing there, all the while as naked as the day she was born. Why did you not find her day dress before you stripped her of her night one? You wasn't ready, now she's naked and she's wandering around. What a fool you are. The princess, nothing, you're panning. Giggles, she said. Are you looking for my dress? Yes, you replied. Your face flushed. That is what you were doing. I thought so. I did wonder before you started undressing me why you did not ask me where it was. Maybe it slipped your mind? It has slipped your mind, yes, to your shame. You were too busy to trying not to fix it upon the princess' buried scheme to think about how best to conceal it. My dress is in my harmourar? Is it French? Harmourar. The princess says, glancing over the aforementioned piece of furniture. That armoire. I think it is armoire, actually. Armoire. That armoire of hers is intricately carved wooden structure, large enough or so you estimate to fit inside it enough dresses to attire a whole barroom worth of princesses. I'd like to wear the red ones. It's my favorite. Would you be a dear and fetch it for me? I don't want to rush you, but it's rather cold in here, especially when I'm still naked. She raises a good point. You turn away from the princess and make your way to her armoire. It is so French, armoire. Once there, you open its wooden door and pursue the clothes hanging with it. It is just as you expected. Inside that wardrobe lie numerous dresses, all of them finely sewed and decorated with no shortage of ribbons, lace, and iridescent pearls. You find the princess' red dress soon enough, then hurry to her side. That's a good one, actually. This kind of things look like tits, just a little bit. I feel like she may be a monster. Also, if you look well, she does have like a little, canine teeth, like a little vampire. I don't know. With your spoil in your hand, you hurry to dress her, concealing once again the princess' pale skin beneath layers upon layers of soft red velvet. She is easier to look at now, you think, with her skin concealed. That might have been the most nerve-wracking task you ever had accomplished, even more than your perilous escape through the foggy forest. When it seems a small miracle, you can still remember how to breathe. That's much better. Thank you, dear one, for your help. You have not been here for a full day, but I already wonder what I'd do without you. Shyly, you assure the princess that you did nothing, really nothing beyond your job. You did not do anything incredible. And in any case, being complimented by somebody so pretty is embarrassing. Don't be like that. I want to compliment you. Why shouldn't I? When you've been so helpful, I'd be rude not to. And anyway, I think you're very pretty too. Oh my, your face flushed from this more deeply than ever before. You ought to count yourself lucky, really, what with all of this excessive blushing, that the princess does not seem to possess any vampiristic tendency. Why are you telling me that? Game? Why? Why are you telling me that? You are making yourself quite the easy target, but I mean, it's daytime and there is sun coming from the ceiling, so she's not a vampire. I mean, she does have like a fit for, I don't know, she may be a monster. We will check about it. Maybe not a vampire, but another monster. Now, the princess declared, why don't we go for a walk? It's a nice enough day, and I get so very bored of being cooped up inside, although ask me, I love to be inside forever. You can't think of any particular objection to raise to this remark, and you think that the princess might have a point. The castle, though expensive, is somewhat stifling. The walls are so very thick, they put your mind in a crypt. With your acquiescences assured, the princess quit her chamber, her posture elegant, and her gait unarrayed. She seems not to walk as she navigate her way through the seemingly endless hallway of her home, but to float like a cloud. The hem of her dress wishes around her leg, and her hair shifts like a shroud. The castle courtyard, meanwhile, is sadly lacking in comparison to the princess' beauty. Oh, it's beautiful. The courtyard is fenced by the castle's walls, which looks in the stark midday light, tall and imposing, faceless soldier standing sentinel. Though the sun is out, this is not particularly bright, and neither is it particularly warm. Is that fake? Are we dreaming? Is she a vampire? I don't know. The courtyard itself, meanwhile, is in a state of disarray. The flower bed are in shambles, all overgrown with weeds. It is already depressing. The princess' castle might be grand in scale, but the courtyard itself is simple, hemming to a claustrophobic degree, like a coffin. Oh, coffin, vampire, come on, stop that. The princess, however, seems not to share Dolor's mood. She instead looks elated by her newfound surroundings, her smile unwavering. She gambols about like a lamb, flitting hither and thither as she examines the weed-infested flower beds. Her flockling comes to a cease, however, by a blush. One is full of bright red roses. Oh, how pretty! Don't you think they are gorgeous, dear one? The flowers are not too disappointed, you suppose. Oh, they actually, they're like scarlet something. There is a type of rose that is actually beautiful, scarlet whatever. I don't remember the complete name. They're really beautiful, by the way. Not like the one that we have in Italy, anyway. They make for a fine spectacle, in fact a welcoming splash of colors, when contrasted with the dullness and the drabness which pre-maze the rest of the courtyard. Though the other flowers in their beds are wilted, withered things is not so for these roses. They are rich, bright red, just like blood. Their heads so full, they seem almost to drop beneath the weight of their own engorged petals. Yeah, there must be scarlet something. They are pretty in a sense, but there is something unsettling about them too. Something that is almost obscene. How did those roses become so very red? Oh no! Is this the kind of story they have like corpses, underneath the garden, so they become red? What has been sustaining them? Could it be possible that these roses have been draining the life from the other flowers, which are struggling to grow within this garden? And where are all the people of the castles, right? Guys? Right? Wait a second. Right, guys? Where are the other people? Where are the other people? Okay. Now I'm preoccupied. It is a fanciful thought, but... Oh, they are simply divine. Look at all these roses, always lift my spirits. They really are my most favorite flowers. I simply must pick some of them. Perhaps I can use them to decorate my bedchamber. It could use a bit of color. The princess reached out as to pluck one of the roses, free from its resting place among its brethren. I don't know how to read that. You watch her. You breathe bated, anxious that things gesture might result in perforated flesh and bright red rose. But the princess is not as clumsy as you fear. Of course she is not. Why did you think she was? You? Rather than the worrying about the other people, you would be better served if you worry more about yourself. The princess held a newly pilfered rose to her nose and inhales, her eyelids falling shut as the flower sweet scents washed over her. A few moments of silence pass. Then the princess begins to toy with the petals which adorn the flower's crown. Now, let me see. I wonder what the fate has in store for me. She loves me. The princess plucked a petal from the flower overborne her head. She loves me not. Oh, it's love me not. Love me not. I have like a skin of League of Legends of Morgana who does have these emotes. It's actually two different emotes. One for love me and the other one for love me not. The princess continued with this childish incantation, all the while stripping a rose slowly and methodically of its petal. This petal fluttered about the princess like bloody snow. The princess' voice, meanwhile, echoes through the courtyard, even more melodic than the strain of a pianola. A pianola is not melodic at all, my dear. Anyway, she loves me not. She loves me not. Is she talking about we? The princess fingered over and over the final petal, which crowns her nearly denuded flower. She does have long nails too. She must be a monster 100%. I can bet all my life on it, she's a monster. Then, with a triumphant smile, she declared, "She loves me! I knew it!" He watched the princess, amused by her girlish good cheer. The little mantra she had been recited in one of your familiar is one that you are familiar with. The girls at the conservatoire also used to engage in these little games, the younger ones at least, who believed that fairy tale prince would whisk them away. You might have participated in this game yourself when you were a child, but you never pinned your hopes and dreams on a handsome prince. Your interest in prince has always been minimal. When it comes to fair princesses, though, okay, so you like women's 100%. I see. Well, that is a different matter altogether, isn't it? Pleasantly, you ask the princess who love it is she wishes to court, a query which makes the princess giggle. Oh, dear one, who else would I be thinking of? Naturally, I was thinking about you. Naturally. She said it so easily, as though you ought to have suspected as much, and indeed part of you did. You wanted to believe, yet part of you was afraid too. You did not want to be arrogant enough to assume that the princess might carry for you affection. Your being true blush, your cheeks almost as red as the roses, while the princess laughed. She laughed, and she laughed, and she laughed, her voice clear and sweet like the nightingale's songs, as though you are the funniest things she ever seen. You never liked them be laughed at, and when you dwelt within the walls of the conservatoire, but it is different with her. You have not known her for all that long, but you are already entranced by her, and oh my God, help me. Ensnared. She has you wrapped around her little fingers. Oh my! The princess laughter tapers off into a series of giggles as smiling she wipes her eyes with the back of her hands. That was quite the amusing diversion, but I've just had an idea. You look at the princess curiously. What idea? You can tell? You cannot even begin to guess. I just thought that all this watching must be boring for you, the princess say, tossing the rose-stripped stem carelessly to the ground. You should give it a try. Please, do. It will be fun. The princess retrieved a second rose from the bushes, deftly snapping it between her fingers, and offered it to you. I want to see what the fate has in store for you too. You smile at the princess, touched by her enthusiasm, indulging in a childish game like it might not be the best youth of your time, but the princess looks so very determined you will not wish to hurt her. What could be the harm, really, in consenting? The only real casualty of this game will be one singular rose. The rose that the princess is holding towards you. Also, these roses haven't like spikes? No, thorns. It is thorns, not spikes. You reached out, meaning to accept the princess' offering, but... oh no! You are clumsy, and you seize the stem of the rose with a touch too much strength. Oops. It is blood. Is she a vampire? Oh my god. The head of the rose might be pretty, but there is more to a rose than its bright red flowers. Roses have thorns too, a fact you are now being painfully reminded of. Pain flares through your fingers and you gasp. You take a step back. The hem of your skirt swishing around your ankles. How many tears of blood are you losing, my dear? Your fingers are stinging, and so are your eyes. You hoped you had been more careful. Why were you so stupid? You poor dear, you're bleeding! The princess exclaimed, alarmed. Then she frowns. This is all my fault. If I'd not just suggested these silly games, this never would have happened. Please, let me take care of you. Okay, so she's not gone prancing in seeing blood, or maybe she's not a vampire indeed. And how is she going to do that? Perhaps she means to take an handkerchief from her pocket with which she might staunch your wounds. Princesses tend to carry a handkerchief about with them, don't they, silken one? How else would give a very nice token of their gratitude? Once these aforementioned, oh my god, aforementioned knight have successfully slain dragons, princess can hardly dispense kisses as a favor. It simply is not done. That is what you always thought, but... Please, hold still. This might sting a little bit. This princess is anything but ordinary. Rather than taking a handkerchief out of her pocket, she descended and closed her white slender finger around your hand. Okay. Carefully, as though she's handling a precious object, she raises in your hand, her eyes are fixed, all the while on the bed of startlingly crimson blood, which are oozing luridly from your wounds. This game is proving me like the worst, the worst teller in the fucking world. She licks her lower lip. Are you going to drink the blood? Then she dips her head. Oh no! Also, this is we never saw each other. Oh, we have pink hair. We're so cute. She's drinking our blood. Oh no. She parts her mouth with the soft side which borders of the sensual. She's slipping your injured digit between her teeth. She might be a vampire, but I don't know about the sun though. So much for princesses not dispensing kisses as token of appreciation. This might not be a conventional kiss, but feels intimate regardless, almost startlingly so. The princess' lips, which are as red as any rose, are enclosed around your index finger. You can feel the warmth of the princess' mouth above your skin and the wetness of it. This sensation makes you whole body quake. Whole body. You did not expect it. Tremulously, in a voice which wavers, you ask the princess what is she doing. Oh? The princess glanced up at you, her mouth still enclosed around your finger. Didn't I tell you? I'm trying to stop the bleeding. Yes, you get it as much, but... Is there a problem? I'm not making you uncomfortable, am I? It is not, you say, that she is making you uncomfortable per se, but this is rather awkward. You did not expect it, that is all. And she is not worried that this is unhygienic. Unhygienic? The princess blink. She is very picture of innocence, which is funny, really, given your finger is still nestled against her thumbs. I don't know what you mean by that exactly, but I've been heard that this is the best way to take care of cats. My nursemaids used to do it for me when I was a child. It was what you're supposed to do. And you ask your voice catching in your throat. Did her nursemaid keep stashing her wounds with her mouth when she grew older? Well, no, but my nursemaid was dismissed when I was 8 years old. Dismissed, you say? That's the normal way of things. I had my lady maids to look after me then. How very interesting. And did they ever clean her wounds like this? And no, the princess says, smiling mischievously, because I'm not clumsy enough to cut myself silly. Oh, that is your excuse, okay? So they never do that because you never cut yourself, sure. Now, that was quite the sharp retort. You did not expect it. Your face turned even redder. If such a thing is possible, though. This might perhaps be to your benefit. With some luck, all of your blood will flow to your face rather than your fingers. Yeah, because because you're blushing. And your bleeding will stop. As it stopped, your injury was not a deep one. There shall be no need for the princess to keep off suckling, but she still is. You are not accustomed to intimacy of this nature. It is making your heart flutter. If the princess knew that her mouth was doing to you what her mouth was doing to me, are you sure she would not be so very familiar? You feel quietly, crushingly confident that she would scorn you for your feelings and deem them unnatural. It will not be the first time. At this point, you should be used to rejection. It still stings, though. It stings much, much more than any thorns of any other rose ever could. The day passed, following your misadventure in the rose garden, in a relaxed, unhurried sort of manner. And now I have to drink my green tea, because I need it, guys. Give me 5 seconds. If there is something that I really love of my life, is to drink green tea, like very refreshing green tea, when it's hot time. Or do the same thing with hot green tea when it's cold. And that's amazing. So, let's continue. Your mad dash through the forest is beginning to feel like a distant memory, so much so you can scarcely recall the raw naked fear you once felt as you fled for your life. There is no running to be had while you are working for the princesses. You would have nowhere else to run, and in any event, there is no longer any reason to run. The shadow which once tormented you have at long last begun to recede. You can scarcely recall, as you lay down into your bed, the pretty cruelties you were subjected to by your classmate at the conservatoire. They no longer matter. Your attention is focused not upon yourself, but upon the princess. The more time you spend with her, the more you come to care for her. You have become quite besotted with her, but you are yet to release it. Well, I never. How very ignorant can one girl be of her own feelings? The princess is not half so ignorant as you are, though, despite having spent her whole life within the palace wall, the weight of her own feelings are not unknown to her, And during a stormy night, one stormy night, she chooses to make them known to you. Oh, it's storytelling time. Okay. You are in the princess' chamber later. Perhaps that you hope to be later than is strictly appropriate. It is dark outside, and there is little save of the light of the moon to alleviate it. That and the fire which crackles in the grate. You have only just finished stoking the very fine, and now you rise. You look to the princess, who is lying in her bed, and you bid her a good night, as you have many nights past. With a neat curtsy, you turn to leave, but the princess' plaintive voice gives you a pause. Wait, dear one, do not go, not just yet. Perplex, you pause, then look back at the princess. Though she's smiling, her expression is unusually wan. Is she alright? Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine. It's just not like this, which make me feel a little out of sorts. And what, you ask, does she mean by that? Only that it's very cold and very dark, and it's very windy beside. I'm afraid I'll be a storm later. There'll be a storm later. Okay. And I love storms. I wish that every single day of my life. It was awfully cloudy earlier when we went out for our walk. The princess is not mistaken about that. The sky, when the pair of your promenaded about the gardens earlier, was great and stilly. The wind bitingly cold. You can hear the wind rattling mournfully against the pane in the princess' bedchamber. The princess' castle is built of stone and is well fortified, but even with the fire it's rather cold, because it's stone, of course. You do not like to think how much chillier by comparison it will be your humble bedchamber, which is not unfortunate enough to have its own fireplace. Really? How are you gonna warm yourself? It might sound childish, but I've always found it hard to sleep on a stormy night like this. They make me feel uncomfortable. You look at the princess with no small degree of sympathy. No longer clad in her bright red dress, she looked oddly uncommonly vulnerable. Would she really be alright all alone in her oversized bed in her high-ceilings bedchamber? You know it is silly of you to contemplate such a query, but why would she not be alright? There is nobody in the castle to hurt her, but still you fret for her. As her lady maid, it is your job to fret for her. You would never want your mistress to feel unhappy. You ask the princess what it is that she would have you to do. And the princess perks up at this, pleased perhaps that you are taking the initiative. I wouldn't like to take up too much of your time when it's too very late, but would you mind sitting with me a little while longer and reading to me? Provided that you can, of course. I mean, she could. She should. This is a fair enough question, but your pride bracelet regardless. Hastily, you reassure the princess that yes, of course you could read. You were a poor student in many aspects of the conservatoire, but you had something of a gift when it comes to the literary art. I can see that. I can see the usage of very old English sentences and words that is making me rather, how do you say, in difficulty. Reading books is all you have earned being any good at. Oh, I see. I suppose I should know. You're so incredible. I sometimes wonder if there's anything you can't do. The princess' high praises make you flush. Awkwardly, you look away. Being able to read, you assure her, is not such a great feat. Actually, it is at our times. Indeed, I cannot, as you can hear. Guys, I'm terrible. Perhaps it isn't where you hail from, but it is here. Very few of my old servants could read, and they certainly couldn't read the books that I like. This piques your interest. Intrigued, you ask the princess what books exactly she likes. Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm fond of fairy tales, you see. Old ones from century past. Me too. Me too. I have a collection of them here. The princess say indicated a book on it. Oh, sorry. The princess. When this finish, the princess is not talking anymore. I have to remind that. The princess says indicated a book on her beside table, as thick as the mortuary slab. The book is old though, and the bindings are weak. The pages brittle. The writing woefully old-fashioned. I didn't trust any of my past servants with that book, but I think you would do a good job breathing life in those old stories. Would you mind reading to me for just a brief while? Please, dear. Please, dear. One. Oh, please. The princess' request seemed a simple one. One expressed sweetly, so much so. You see no reason to refuse her. You take a seat beside the princess upon the luxurious bed, which sinks beneath your weight. You then retrieve the leather-bound book which is resting upon her beside table and spread it open. The pages of the book are very brittle, like the princess said, and the bindings of the books are loose. You can feel in the heft of the book main-fold pages the weight of ages concealed within. How old is this book? Perhaps it is as old as the castle in which reside. It is with a quiet voice, hesitant at first, that you begin to read to the princess a tale of courtly love which culminated in a lavish wedding ceremony. All the while as you read, the princess listens to you, enraptured, okay, hanging, or so it seems upon your every word. Once you reach the final phase embodied upon the pages of this aged tome, and they live happily after of that? And they lived happily ever after? The princess sighed, as though this is the tale that should have very soul. Would that there was an handsome prince to marry me, she says somberly, or better yet, a beautiful princess. Okay, so both of you like girls. Okay, I know where the story is going. At this point, I think I would have settled for a lovely currently made. You blush at this idle remark and mumble softly that this would not be proper. The storm outside is still squalling, and you have never been one to raise your voice. You do not expect, therefore, that the princess will overhear you, but she does. She observed you, her head resting against her pillow, and said, "And what would be the problem with that, huh? As my maid, shouldn't my happiness come before any silly ideas or proprieties?" "Well, of course," you reply, "but for a princess to marry a scurrily maid." "You still hang up about that?" the princess titters. "Don't pay too much heed, I'm just talking to myself." As if anything like that would ever happen when there is no priest around who would officiate it. You think there are greater issues with the princess' plan than the lack of a priest, though she does present a good point. The castle is empty one. Even if the princess were to find somebody that she loves, there would be nobody to make such a wedding official. You cannot help but feel like you have avoided a good deal for nuisance. But by the same token, do you not feel a touching disappointed? Well, never mind. "That was a nice story," the princess says. "But I'm not sleepy yet and I'm still storming outside. Won't you read me one more?" "You would not mind," you reply. "But it gets late. You really ought to return to your own chamber." "I know, but you can't find it in your heart to read one story to me? Just one? You can choose a short one. I won't complain." You have some doubts about that, but as before, you cannot resist the princess' domain. It is not, you think, because she is a princess, though that is, of course, a part of it, but because she is, well, radiant. You would not, you'd think, as you turn to the next story recounted in this age compendium, what to upset her. You would rather cut your own tongue. You read another story to the princess, which is so similar vein to the last. Impossible adventure culminate at their close in a happy marriage. This tale delights the princess just as much as the tale you read prior, and she begs for another, then another. One bedroom story soon becomes 5, and even then, when the candles which flicker on the princess beside are close to gathering out, the princess is not satisfied. Like a grasping, greedy child, she has never had a moderation. When she wants something, she seeks to glut herself with it. Her only request, that of more. If she were less comely, perhaps in her inability to adhere to a word no would be seen as a character defect. The princess is very comely, however, and so, when she makes her next request, you almost agree offhand without considering the ramifications. I think I could go to sleep now, but the storm is still raging. I feel lonely on my own, in this big empty bed, so... I know the princess' eyes light up like the night sky in a thunderstorm. Why don't you sleep with me? I fuck knew it. I knew it. This work. I'm not gonna complain. You stare at the princess, your eyes wide as goose eggs. Slowly, you blink. Then just as slowly, you be there to repeat yourself. Didn't you hear me? The princess giggled. May you've been so busy cleaning up after me. You've neglected cleaning up your own ears. I said, dear one, would you like to sleep with me? If that is his question she truly meant to ask, then it's easy enough to answer. Of course you would like to sleep with her. It would be an honor. But would it really be right for you to accept such an invitation? It must be a gross breach of protocol, surely, for lovely domestic such as yourself to share a bed with a princess. Oh my god, I'm reading such a complicated words that my mouth are not used to, that my cheeks are hurting, and I'm not kidding. Give me a second, guys. Oh my god. Oh, it is like when you laugh too much, you know? Oh my god. We have done 1 hour and 13 minutes. We're gonna do 1 hour and 30 because I get really tired of reading so much, especially English. So I'm sorry for that, but I have to take, my rest. You sit upon the princess beside, fretting, while she observed with wide, beseeching eyes. She is waiting. Well, what's the matter, dear one? Why do you tarry so? Could it be... The princess's lower lips begins to tremble. Don't you want to lie with me after all? The sorrow present in her princess' voice and in her face makes you feel awfully guilty. Hurriedly, you console her. You tell her in no uncertain terms that if she truly wishes to partake your company, then you have no qualms with it. Why would you? Well, then just stand there, dilly-dally silly. Come and join me, come! And that is what you do after returning briefly to your own chamber to change you into a nightgown. Oh, the nightgown! It's like the pajama! Okay, this is the nightgown. Okay, I got it. I never knew that. I never knew that word. Okay. Once dressed, you wasted no time in returning to your impetuous princess' side. She is already lying in a glorious four-posted bed awaiting your return, as though you are at night, errand gone away from a slave, some wicked dragon. You're the man here. The princess giggles when she sees you. In your haste to change, you have to make a harsh of the buttons, and she bids you to come closer. Let me fix that for you, silly. Oh no, you say. He couldn't possibly let you do that. I am but a servant, after all. Should it not be your job to dress her? Maybe so, the princess said. But I don't mind a bit of role reversal. It makes things more fun. You try a few more refutation, but in vain. The princess summarily discarded all of them. Quite as the princess mercy, she might be even more stubborn than you are. You capitulated to her demands. You let the princess unbutton the front of your nightdress, then rebutton them. So the fabric of your planes grow in drone shots. Okay. Satisfied with her handiwork, she has very elegant hands. The princess drove back and passed the matters beside her. Now, come in. It must be horribly cold out there, but these sheets are warm. Coyly, the princess smiled. And so am I. Oh my god. You feel warm yourself as you slide into the bed beside the princess. Your face is as red as the ground, as the princess so often wears, as red as those roses in the castle ground. All the while your heart is fluttering. Does the princess know what effect she is having on you? Surely she must. How could any woman be so blind? There! The princess exclaimed. Once your body is lying beside her, that is much better. Do you feel cozy now, dear one? You swallow and, with a shaky voice, you reassure her. Yes, you are cozy. You are quite cozy indeed. Very good. The storm might be raging outdoor, but it can't get us here. I know when I'm with you, I'll be safe. Oh, she's so cute. It's strange, but the princess reached out, then take your hand in her, twining the young fingers together like a chain. When I'm with you, I feel so very light. It is a thought nothing in the world can hurt me. You make me feel safe, so I want to make you feel safe too. Oh my god. Is this gonna be a Yuri? I'll take very, very good care of you, I promise. You return her smile with one of your own, touched that I have. Thoughtfulness, though. Something about her promise does make you wonder. Should I not be your... should it not be your job to look after her as a domestic? In a way, the princess replied after a pause. But you've been taking good care of me already. Now, I need to return the favor. As a princess, I'm supposed to look after my vassals. Vassals? It's all part of the job description. You were unaware of being a princess come with a job description. You thought of the profession came with fewer written responsibility and far fewer forms to sign than, say, become a doctor or an astrophysics or mathematics professor. You tell the princess this is sleepily and she laughs. You do say some funny things, dear one. I think you must be tired. Rest your head. You've been working so hard. So hard. I think you deserve it. Yes, you think only of conscience you think you deserve it too. You have been working hard for a long time, have been running for even longer, but now, at long last, you feel like you can let your fears go. I am not trusty. Your eyelids begin to drop, your body beleaguered by a sudden all-consuming fatigue. Oh my god, she's gonna transform into a monster, she's gonna eat us alive. And in a quiet, understated sort of a way, your consciousness is conveyed to Morpheus' kingdom. Your sleep is a deep one, despite the storm which is raging outdoors. The wind is howling like a couple of wildcats, both locking in a vicious and bloodthirsty bath of death. But you do not hear it, swaddled by the warm blanket about you, and soothed by the princess' presence, you are immune from the ills of the world. When you are with the princess, you feel safe, secure, and, yes, you even feel loved. Man. Man, man, Princess is the goat. It is a pity then that these feelings do not last for very long. Oh no. Uh-oh. You know that something is wrong, catastrophically so, the moment you open your eyes. I'm fucked. Your true are oppositely jumped, but you are certain that when you fell asleep, it was in a bed, a nice warm bed, no less beneath soft, comfortable sheets. You are not lying in a bed right now, though. You are not, in fact, lying at all. Oh my fucking god, she's a monster, she's gonna eat us alive. We are an idiot and we deserve this. But we are so cute though. I love her. You are standing instead against a cold hard wall made of stone. The curve of your back is pressed against the wall so intimately. You can feel its icy chill seeping through the fabric your own night how. Your feet, which are bare, are similarly pressed against cold, unfeeling stones. They feel so frigid you cannot help your trembled. You are trembling so much you can feel your teeth chattering together. They sound like castanets, chestnuts, maybe chestnuts. I don't know, castanet. They sound either almostly jauntry, as it echoes through your cells, for what it is indeed where you are. The princess bedchamber wherein you fell asleep is a thing now of the past. You are standing instead, you realize, with a sharp start in the cell of some great underground dungeon. You swallow, and when you do, you can taste something bitter on your tongue. Your stomach is being to churn with anxiety. You feel like you are going to be sick, a feeling which wells up inside you to a staggering degree. When you catch notice of the stench, you are not, you realize, the only one in the dungeon. There are others here, others attired in the simple black and white outfits of servants, which looks much like a dress that you once wore. The others who are with you, however, in this expensive cell, manacled on the wall, are not fit to stay to speak to you, nor to tell you of their plights. They are unfeeling, unseen, and unbreathing. They're all dead. Oh my god. You cannot approach this servant to check their pulses, for you yourself are restrained. But even if you could, there will be no points. There is no way a human can survive these wounds which have been inflicted upon this sad slumped boy. Over there you see a woman slumped, the front of her once white apron stained with blackish blood. There is gaping wound in her stomach, and through which her entrails have half escaped in some sort of burgundy goop, which might once have been pale pink. There is another woman slumped beside the first of her smallest stature. She is skinnier. Maybe she's not a woman after all. An adolescent like yourself. She might even be younger. The girl's age of a lack of did not preclude her attacker from inflicting upon her horrors. Alas, for her body is even more mutilated than the first. Her body is peppered with even more wheals, and her face has been half smashed in. Only one eye remains startlingly fixed at the wall opposite her, in the ruined remains of what was once her skull. Over there, you see a woman who is missing both the arms and her lower jaw. Over there, you see another who is missing her entire lower half. So she likes women, but she doesn't like in that way, like sentimentally. The princess like women to be hidden, like food, you know. Where have our legs gone? You have an idea. The injuries inflicted upon these bodies are ghastly, but their advanced decay is enough to turn your stomach. Stomach? Stomach. Or is stomach? I don't remember. You know not how long these carcasses have been lying down here, but they have begun to putrefy. You fear a similar fate might befall you. Should you stay in here, you need to escape. Fitfully, you struggle against the manacles which binds you, but alas, it is no use, you cannot free yourself from the walls. Your restraints are much too strong, and you are very much weak. Panic rises up in your throat, cold and icy, while terror seizes your heart. This too glacial. It is obvious that escape is impossible, but still you squirm and writhe like a rat caught in a firestorm. There is a little point, however, to your struggles. You succeed in nothing as you attempt to free yourself. Save making the steel manacles that you abuse wrist more sharply than ever. You gasp. That hurts. Well, you ought to have known that would not work. The very definition of insanity is, performing a set of action over and over again, hoping for a different response. It is that sense, perhaps, one could argue optimism is not so very different from insanity. Now that it is an interesting point to consider, would you not agree? No, evidently not. You are still trying to escape, your foolish girl, as you that will do you any good. The clangorous rattling of your steely restraints is already starting to get on my nerves. You are making enough noise to raise the dead down there in your dark, dingy cells, and all of your screaming is hardly happy menace. Hi, Toffee, welcome back. We have something like, yes, some more streaming. I wish that you would cease this infernal racket, but I know you will not. Nothing I said could ever get through to you. Not that you have early listened to me in the first place. Perhaps you would listen to her, though. Is she not your kind, considerate mistress? Oh my god, she's gonna eat us. Alive. Look now, she has come all this way into the dark depths of the castle called the Inhospitable Dungeon to see you. Is that not kind of her? Oh, dear one, the princess thrills, entering the dungeon with all series of light, lilting steps. It seems like you have finally awoken. How are you? Basis of all the infernal racket you've been making, it would seem like you have no short of energy. Balefully, you turn your head, so as to meet the eyes of the princess. She is standing but a few paces away, beneath the roughly hewn stone arch which beats one's entry, but rarely have an exit to the dungeons. The dungeons are dull and drab, but the princess is wearing a favorite red dress. It is so bright and brilliant that for a few moments it hurts you to look at her. Once the red of her princess outfit made you think of romance. How it is going? Pretty cool, pretty cool. We are reading an horror story. And I'm improving my pronunciation, hopefully. Now, it makes you think of violence. You must forgive me for leaving you down here for so long. That was unfair of me. I didn't think of waiting here with you, by your side, until you awoke, but... Once again the princess giggles. A light, airy giggle which does not at all suit the situation in which you have found yourself. A dungeon is not a fit place, after all, for a princess. It is horribly cold here, and so very drab, and there is nowhere nice and soft to lay my head. I could have brought my pillows down from my bed, I suppose, and my blankets, but then they will have gotten dirty, and there would be a disaster. I need to be more careful. I won't have anybody left to clean up after my messes soon. Not when I've dispatched of you. Oh my gosh, you wanna hit us. Once again, the princess laughs. Her laugh is light and lightning like the chimney of a silvery bell. But it does little of alleviate your concern. If anything, it makes you feel even more alarmed. Did she say she meant to dispatch of you? Of course, she want to kill you and possibly eat you alive. Yes, that's right. Could you not tell? I thought you might have figured it out already after walking up in my dungeon, silly. Still smiling, the princess takes another step towards you. Would that you would cringe away from her, but you cannot. You are completely powerless. Oh my god. The princess reaches out to place place a hand upon your cheek. Her skin is very white, and though her touch is cool, it's less so than the frigid air in the dungeon. Though your body is acting, the princess' touch is gentle, and you find yourself leaning into her subconsciously. You wish she would keep holding you. You wish she would keep touching you. You luxuriate in her kindness as best you can, but though the princess' caresses are tender, your circumstances rather undermine them. How can you relax like this? Ah, you're such a good girl, the princess says in a cajoling sort of voice, as one might address a cat. You've been so lovely to me while I've been together. I really couldn't ask you for a better servant. I feel as though I've been spoiled. Why then, you ask her, is she doing this? Improbable thought it sounds. She might be the one who chained you up. There is nobody else in the castle who could have committed such a feat. Everybody else is dead. Why yes, how very astute of you. I was the one who orchestrated all of this naturally. Naturally, she said, as though her betrayal is a matter of course. Naturally. Why, you ask, it is so natural to her. What does she mean to do with you? Oh, only what I've done to all my other servants. I have experienced it with this sort of things, so please don't worry, I'll take a good care of you. And by take a good care, she means, naturally, I'll killing you. There it is again, that word which seems grossly inappropriate given all which has transpired. Naturally. There is nothing natural about this. Do you not think so? The princess examined you, her expression ponderous. It's natural to me, even if it is isn't natural to other people. This is just feel right. Imprisoning a servant in a dungeon and letting them die. Yes, exactly. There is a bit more to do than that, though. Oh my god. Oh, of course there is. I like you, dear one, the princess says in a voice which sounded uncommonly seriously. You have been good to me, like I said, and kind. For that, I will eternally appreciate you. You have been so good to me, in fact, that simply being with you is not enough. Not anymore, so you have to be part of the princess. Dismissed. Hey there. Welcome back. By the way, guys, if you don't know and you are on Twitch, on YouTube, if you have a Kick platform, you can follow me there and you have no ads, even if you're not subscribed, okay? So if you don't want to have ads, follow me on Kick. Your company can no longer content me. I am a greedy, selfish girl, you see. The princess smiled into something sinister, her eyes flashing with a fiendish fervor you have never before witnessed. And I don't want to feel you beside me, I want you to feel inside me. Okay, absolutely, she wants to eat you. She's gonna transform, or she's just human and wants to eat us? Well, of all the things that your charming captive could have said, you did not expect that. The princess perhaps noticed your confusions, being to giggle even lighter than meringue and just as hairy. It is just as inoffensive. I can see that you don't understand, dear one, but you aren't the only one. My last lady maid said that too. Wenli, it is Wenli. The princess sighed as beleaguered war is me side, which me makes her look ever younger than the scant handful of years she truly possesses. Okay, so she's a vampire. Or a monster, I don't know. And the one before that, and the one before that, and the one before that. I thought that you at least might be able to appreciate my point of view, but perhaps not. I don't think it should be too complicated to grasp, really. But maybe my way of looking at words is a little bit unique. That's what my nurse always used to say, at least, when she still had to breathe to speak, of course. You look at the princess. Where else is there for you to look, really? Your eyes are fixed to her face. She is still smiling, but there is something sinister about her smile. Are you stupid or what? She's totally telling you that she wanna fucking hit you and kill you? What you... Or perhaps, in your anxious state, you are only imagining that there is something sinister about her smile. No, you're just stupid. That is the point. It is easy to see things which do not really exist when you're surrounded by fascinating shadows. In actuality, however, the princess does not look any different to the house she usually does. Neither is she acting any different to the way she usually acts. Usually. She has not changed. It is only perspective of her that has changed. Tremendously. You ask the princess what she means. A question the princess is only too happy to answer. It is simple, really. Like I said, you were wondering, why there weren't any guards or any servants in the castle when you first arrived here. The question had crossed in your mind, yes. You are sure that the princess said the minister sent them away, though. Was that a lie? I wasn't being really truthful, no. I thought you would be afraid of me if you knew that what had actually happened, and I didn't want that. I wanted you to stay with me. My minister didn't send anybody away because I don't have any minister. I dispatched of them too. Did she know? You suppose you ought not to be surprised, but you still shudder regardless. My minister went in very much fun, I'm afraid. They had a lot of ideas about what I should do and what I should do after my parents died. So she's not a monster, she's just a princess. A human princess, okay? The princess stares at you, her eyes wide like a black hole's empty, yawning abysses. So I killed them. I killed my servants too. I thought I did more through the job with them than I did my minister. Did not care for my minister, you see. They were all frosty old men, but I did love my servants. I love my lady maids, and my undermaids, and my squirrely maids, and my housekeeper, and my cook, and my large retinue of retainers. They were like family. They raised me in my parents' absence, and I adore them. They were so very dear to me, and I had no real choice. I had to hit them. Does not that follow? Not logically, no. Why you ask the princess, your voice trembling? Would you hit the people that you love? It seems a poor way to repay them for their kindness. Well, why wouldn't you eat the people that you love? I don't think there could be any greater way to showcasing one's gratitude, unless you have any better ideas? You weren't expecting the princess to turn the tables on you quite like this, and then dumbfounded you stare at her. You know precious little about your love yourself, so it is hard for you to form a convincing rebuttal. But you muster up a few token arguments. You tell the princess that eating people isn't very nice, and neither is strictly legal. A better way to show your gratitude to your servant would be increased wage or increased holidays. The princess listening to you arguments for expression astute, like a student poisoned to take notes in very important lecture. Once you are finished, however, her concentration fails her. Her shoulder begins to shake, but it's not with remorse for what she has done. Instead, she's laughing. Oh, dear one, that's very funny, but what you should care about the law. I'm a princess. One day I'll be queen. I am the law. That is a good point. But wouldn't eating people not turn as subjects against her? What subjects? I'm no fool. You know, no matter how I might act, and I know what happened behind the castle walls, I know all about the plague. Oh, there is a plague? That is killing everybody? Okay. Once I might have had a populace to govern, but they are all gone now. I am a princess in nothing but name only, a monarch without any subject. Don't you think that's sad? I know I do. So wonderfully lonely. If she feels lonely, then why has she been systematically slaughtering of all her domestic? It doesn't make a lick of sense. Perhaps not to you. Gently the princess caresses cheek. Caresses. But you shouldn't judge you too harshly. As much as I like you, dear one, you are a commoner. Perhaps you can understand the intricacies of my thought. Privately, you doubt that anybody would be able to understand the intricacies of a princess' thought process, largely because it is unreasonable. She's crazy. She's fucking crazy. Oh my god. You do not say that, though. Instead, you ask her the only question you can think to ask, with your weary throat which is sore from shouting. Why? Why do you ask? The princess blinked. It is because I don't want you to leave me, of course. Everybody leaves sooner or later, whether they have pledged their alliance to me or not. That is simply the way of the world. People are fickle and inconstant, even to me, a monarch. That is why I decided to eat my servants. I had no choice, you see. It was the only way to ensure that they would never leave me. Well, they become shit, you know, if they eat that. They leave you anyway. They're not gonna stay inside you forever. You're just eating them because metaphorically, in your essence, you are eating their soul. I don't know. You're crazy. Beautiful, but crazy. When you think about it, they should be grateful that I won't demean myself to consume their flesh and blood. I am a magnanimous ruler, you see, and I treat all of my subjects equally. I love every single one of you, and naturally, I love you too. You have been awfully nice to me, and you are very pretty alongside it. If you were a plain ugly girl, perhaps I would not shower you with affection quite as intense as this, but you have a capture in my heart. I think you're lovely. So, I'll bestow upon you the highest honor I can conceive of. I want your body to mix with mine, then we can stay together forever and ever. The princess leaned in. You can feel her sort of silken hair brushing against your cheeks. Can feel too the warmth of her breath as it goes against your skin. It is cold and in danger, but the princess' closer proximity is perverse at all. It might sound something of a comfort. Her eyes are wide and her lips are so red. Her smile, meanwhile, is so sweet. I've been doing my best to fulfill the role of that fate has dictated for me, but really, the princess exults. Her eyes, which are boring to yours, are like two dark stars. Finally, you think you can see in the alarming lack of light the lack of anything. In the princess' gaze, some degree of humanity. It gets so lonely here. But in this brief frickling of understanding which passed between the pair of you, it soon cut short. The princess dips her head. She parts her lips, which are as red as the petal of a carnivorous flower. Ow, my ass. You feel the princess breathe against your neck. It is warm at the icy chill of the dungeon, and you shudder from heat. For a few moments, you think that this overture of Princess could be romantic in a way, but this too comes to a swift and merciless close. Oh my god, she's singing us. Oh, the princess' mouth is on your neck. The princess' teeth, sharp as needles, are in your flesh. The princess is draining your blood. Okay, she is a vampire then. She is a vampire. She is supping on his great greedy gobbers like an hungry animal, ones who cannot really comprehend the harm he's causing. She is a vampire. But she wasn't, I don't know, in the sunlight. Even as the princess sups from you, her arms twined around your waist. You find you cannot hate her. What do you mean? Are you liking this? She is far too unworldly. You are sure as your consciousness beats to fate that the princess was being sincere when she spoke of her love of her past servant. Are you telling me that you're gonna die, eaten and drinking by this fucking vampire and you are liking it? This is simply the way that the princess expressed this great love of hers, a love which is so very abundant, it borders upon the monstrous. It is a love you never thought that you would have experienced. This love of the princess eclipses anything you have ever known before. It eclipses sanity, it eclipses reason, it eclipses all notions you might once have had of right or wrong. The princess, as you know full well, does not care about such concepts. You have always possessed a stubborn core, nestled beneath your weak-willed exterior, but the princess is even stubborner than you are. In the face of her love, you have met your match. The princess draws back desperately your grasp of hair, but she does not give you any quarter. As before, she dips her head, her lips, redder still with your blood, that splits apart her jaw. Oh my god. Her teeth, which are impossibly, inhumanly sharp, glint wickedly like knives. Then she tears out your throat. Fine. I'm actually happy they're not showing us this, because it's very, very gore. The front of your nightgown was white once, now it's red. There is so much blood you can smell it when you inhale it, sharper than metal. It is so potent that you can taste it on your thumb. You try to inhale it, but this text proves to be behind you. What with the twin perforation that have erupted in your skin, you attempt to breathe when they escape your lips. Sounds like said sorry wheezes. Your whole body meanwhile feel like as tough as it is on fire. You make for quite the sorry sight indeed, but you forgive me if my sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. We are the narrator. You reap what you sow, and in your case, you made a series of bad decisions which led into your ultimate demise. Now, what do you want to do? Will you accept this fate of yours and rest in peace, or will you try to fight against it? Oh, can I choose? I want to fight against it. I mean, I'm half dead, but I want to fight against it, of course. That is a good answer. I must admit, I like it. It is impressive how very defiant it can be, even in a situation as discomforting as this. Now, try not to cry. Keep your chin up. But it's but a minor setback in your story. Like all fair maidens, you have deserving of your own happy ending. You need only to strength to try and seek it out. Why do we give it this another go? Just try to not ensnare the head of any more monarchs, particularly those with usual appetites. You are destined for a far higher purpose than being an entree, and there are vastly more enjoyable ways to be eaten in this world. Your fate is once again in your hands, and we restart the story because we was eaten alive. But it's strange. I mean, The princess should be human because she was under the sun, so she's not like a vampire. But I don't know why she does have a sharp teeth and anything. So now I wonder, which path will you take? Go to the village. This time we go to the village. We don't want to screw up. So you want to go to the village? Good idea. Let us see what further trials await you there. This night is far from over as much as you might wish it was, and there is still much and more to discover. I wonder what will happen next. You follow the path which leads to the village, supporting yourself unwary, etching lips which feel ready at moment's notice to snap at the knee beneath your body your weight. The sole of your feet are screaming at you. You need to lie down and quickly. You only hope as you continue to run, that you will find a suitable residence in which to rest at the village. You do not know what will await you at the village, but you have vision as you run of a quaint, scenic settlement, all thatched cottage with sloping roofs. Surely there will be a kindly peasant who will be willing to put up a young runaway for a few nights. You can imagine too the face of this kindly peasant for the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. She will be broad, shouldered, and ruddy face, with dull brown hair crammed beneath a cap. Her arm will be sturdy from many years of washing clothes and milking cows, but she will be kind to you and compassionate, just like a mother. And with that, guys, we save here. We save here and we conclude our streaming for tonight. As usual, I hope you enjoyed the reading. I am trying to improve my English, one game after another. We're gonna have more on this, and in someday in the future, we will have also a collaboration about dubbing games. But more than everything, from tomorrow, the 1st of September, I'm gonna do karaoke lives. So if you don't want to miss it, check out the Discord to know the hours, because I think I'm not gonna do any karaoke live at 9 p.m. but just in the evening. Okay, so check out the Discord. You have all my social on Twitch and Kick in the infos. And for whatever it is, guys, I wish for you the better continuation of your beautiful day, and have a good one. We see each other tomorrow for another live. Have a great one, guys. Good night. Bye-bye.